Aspas played really, really well today. He was definitely hitting some like insane shots, getting a bunch of multi kills. He had a lot of good plays individually. Maybe we could have taken it if he just didn't become Thanos. Just overall, I think we were kind of not on the same page a lot of the time. Our teamwork was kind of not to our usual selves, so to say.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT Americas Stage 1. I'm here accompanied once again by TenZ of Sentinels, who are just coming off of a 2-0 loss to Leviatan in the second match of said stage. So Sentinels, it's TenZ. Thank you so much for taking the time once again for another conversation. Yeah, just starting off with that series that just went down, against Leviatan. I mean, how are you taking in this that kind of game given the way it did?
Yeah, I think overall, Lev had a really good approach to the game. I do think there's a bit of both of like them like having a really good day, having really good reads on us, but then also on the other hand, us not really playing to our true like potential or expectations. I think that we were definitely lackluster, especially starting off the series. We were down a lot on Lotus before we actually started to like wake up a bit. So I think we were able to wake up a little bit, but it wasn't like fully enough, and so we were still kind of playing as if we were like a little bit groggy, not really playing like ourselves fully.
Then, I mean, follow up to that. I mean, what kind of made it such that you guys weren't able to play to your usual selves? Because you said you're groggy and stuff like that. So, what kind of made it such?
I would just say that it's just like overall, like sometimes like we just have a good day, sometimes we have a bad day. I think today was more on like the bad end. Just overall, I think we were kind of not on the same page a lot of the time. Our teamwork was kind of not to our usual selves, to so to say. So that's why I mentioned like kind of like groggy, like it's like we're kind of lagging a bit for just our overall teamwork.
Yeah, of course, these kinds of things do happen to the best teams, and yeah. Now going over to Lotus, of course, even though you guys were starting off that map on the wrong end, you guys did eventually come back, forcing like I counted around six overtimes in total against Leviathan. I mean, of course, just give me a run through of how that kind of map transpired on your end and the kind of effects it gave to not just like the performance side of things, but also to the mental side. How difficult was it for you guys to just kind of go through a map in that fashion for so long?
Yeah. I think that when we were looking at the map afterwards, it was kind of a deal of like, all right, we played like shit at the start, but like we started to wake up a bit. We started to play like we wanted it, and I think that was like the what we kind of saw, where it's like, okay, we're waking up finally. So as long as we can just keep up this energy and keep bringing it up, then for map two, map three potentially, we could definitely bring back the series.
I know you already mentioned a little bit about what went wrong for the team, in general sense for the series. But what do you think went wrong for the team in overtime specifically? Because it was literally everyone winning on attack side except for like two rounds on defensive, but on defensive side, and also Lever winning that final round of the entire map. But what do you think kind of made it difficult slash um um yeah made it difficult for you guys in overtime?
I think in the OTs it was kind of chaotic on both ends. I think there was a lot of plays being made. Um, so we saw a lot of people making some good plays. Sometimes there was some ambitious plays. So I think that's just how that's the nature of the beast. Like we're playing, and because it's OTs, like the tension gets higher. The people just start saying like, "Fuck it," like I'm just gonna do this. So I do think that Lotus was pretty close, especially considering the scoreline of where Lev was up on us. I think that it was quite close, and it could have been anyone's day, given like maybe if we hit better shots or had better clutches. So overall, it's like we didn't provide our best energy at the starts, but I'm glad that we were not just gonna get fisted in the end, and we tried to like fight back.
Yeah, and you certainly guys were like poised to kind of win that map and then maybe extend it to a third map or maybe win it 2-0, but unfortunately that didn't happen for you guys. And yet going over to Icebox, did it once You guys were coming off of Lotus, and then now the attention was now pivoting towards Icebox. What was it the team state around that time? You know, did it kind of start like? Did you start feeling like there was a momentum building in a way that that ultimately was like irredeemable or something like that?
Well, I think overall our approach to Icebox, I think we had good reads, especially on our defense side. But it was just kind of coming down to like the little things, like we would have the macro down, but I think just like some micro stuff kind of messed up a lot of rounds for us. Um, there's just like a few rounds that were just dying in ways that we probably shouldn't have died, or we're just not trading out as normal. So it's just kind of like unfortunate stuff that happened on Icebox. I mean, Icebox is a very chaotic map to start, and we do know that Leviatan is very comfortable on that map. So we knew that it was going to be a tough match, but given our situation, we thought that our if we could keep improving our performance from the Lotus game, then there's a definite, not definite, sorry. There was a potential for us to like bring back the series like 1-1 and then bring it on to the third map.
Yeah, and I think it would be fair to say that, you know, Leviathan winning this entire map wouldn't or series wouldn't be done without the help of like their star man Aspas and just him delivering 47 kills on first map and then 68, almost 70 overall. I mean, just focusing on him, well, how much of an obstacle was he, you know, for you guys in particular, given that he's consistent in the sense that, you know, he's always like popping off individually.
Yeah, I think yeah, Aspas played really, really well today. He was definitely hitting some like insane shots, getting a bunch of multi kills. He had a lot of good plays individually. So like I like I said, like on Lotus, maybe we could have taken it if he just didn't become Thanos. But oh yeah, overall, like it's a fun match. Like it's always a pleasure to play against really talented players as like such as Aspas. So overall, it's just something that we have to look forward to and improve our teamwork so we can try to punish really talented players like Aspas in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to pivot now to a different direction, of course, you know. Since our last conversation early on in the start of 2024 season, it would be fair to say that a lot of things happened for you and the rest of the team, you know, winning Masters and winning kickoff and just being returning back to the top. I mean, but more so just focusing on post Madrid into this current point in time in stage one. I already talked to a little bit about how the team has been preparing, or more so building from the momentum that you guys have already set from winning Masters. And I think I already said it's a talk to Kaplan, and he mentioned about how he's been putting in a plan in place for you guys to just start screaming, just getting to adapt further from the strategies that you guys have already set upon up until then. So, from your end, what do you think has been the biggest emphasis that the team has been focusing on in just adapting further from winning Masters up until now?
Yeah, I think overall we're just trying to make our map pool in more in depth. I think we have a lot of solid maps that we definitely have like down and we feel really comfortable on. Lotus being one of them, surprisingly enough, considering the fact that we were just playing like really bad at the start. But I do think that um, yeah, just trying to like figure out more of our map pool. Like I definitely think that we're ahead of a lot of other VCT teams in our map pool, just because we do have like a lot of options that other teams do have to be wary of. So overall, just improving our map pool and I mean further improving our team cohesion and we're definitely gonna have to watch the VOD of what happened today to see like hey what went wrong, what could we have done better, how could we work together better. So I think there's a lot of solutions that we could give after this loss and I mean you always improve the most after losing, not really you do improve winning as well, but I think most of the improvement can be found through a loss, such as like when we lost Loud during the kickoff event and then we were able to turn it around and win the whole thing.
I believe you already mentioned this a little bit within this recent answer, but which map do you feel, if you want to share, of course, you know, I don't want you to reveal too much, but which map do you still feel like the team is still kind of iffy on, you know, even though you guys already have a good map pool, you know, at the present moment?
Uh, I mean, I think our icebox is a little bit more random than um like such as like Lev. I think Lev always has like a really good icebox and they always play it like in a very consistent manner. Whereas our icebox can be pretty good or sometimes it can be not the greatest. I think today was just somewhere like in an average state. So I think just being able to be consistent on other maps, such as like icebox that are really like popular float picks for certain teams, I think is pretty good.
And yeah, now going a little bit, I think I'm gonna ask one more question. Of course, one other thing that I kind of asked you about, before the start of this entire season is just your individual development as a player, but not so much. Well, more so just being a Omen player and just being smokes and just be working as a KO also sometimes. And yeah, like plenty of attention has been looking at that in your game and how you have improved in that regard. That said, now that you've been playing this role for roughly, let's say, around 4 months, maybe even more so than that, how do you look at yourself now? Do you feel that you're an even better player now than like when you were back in like in your duelist days, from past versions of the team?
Definitely for teamwork wise, I think I definitely am the best player that I've been since. So it's just been a fact of just improving every day, making sure I can play more coordinated with the team and even like offer my own like opinions and coordinate people for certain plays. So I think that was definitely a thing that I definitely improved on. I think overall, um, I think back in the day, like it was a lot more duelist confidence. Like I know I have to be like confident to run in to like take my fights, not be scared of anyone, and try to like win the game from there. So I think just the mindset shift because I do have to play a lot smarter, especially playing on certain util agents where my life is valuable, where it's not as valuable on like a jet, for example. And normally going for one on another player can be more beneficial for the team.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And despite this result, hopefully we'll see more better things from Sentinels from this team and also from yourself, most importantly, Tens. And so that said, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Tens, once again for doing another interview with me. I really appreciate it. And best of luck goes for the rest of the team and for you in Super Week.
Okay, thank you.